Hi, I'm your host, Ashleigh C, reporting for Kids First. Joining us on the show today is JJ Johnson, a Canadian-born writer, director, and executive producer, a founding member of Sinking Ship Entertainment. JJ's creative vision has brought to life a host of beloved series and as the creator of Jane. Joining us as well is Matt Bishop, a partner and executive animation producer at Sinking Ship Entertainment. Matt's expertise in animation production has been instrumental in crafting the world of Jane, a live-action CGI blended series that takes viewers on an unforgettable adventure. Welcome to the show. I want to say first, congratulations on this new season of Jane. It was absolutely amazing. I got the chance and the opportunity to watch not only season 1, but also season 2. So first off, this award-winning show has been recognized for its impactful storytelling. Can you share with us what inspired the creation of the series, particularly the focus on young environmentalists? And JJ, can you start us off?
This show really started with the birth of my daughter, and literally in the delivery room when I'm looking at her and feeling all the hope and promise that comes with new life, and then immediately feeling like, oh my gosh, what planet is she inheriting? What's going on in the world? What am I doing? And so that started the wheels turning on how do we tell an environmental series that balances everything you need in a TV show, which is that action adventure. When I was a kid, the person that made me feel safer about what was going on the planet was Dr. Goodall. And so we immediately reached out to her and her incredible organization. And there's this one quote from her that's only if we understand will we care, only if we care will we help, only if we help can animals be saved. And that kind of created the backbone of this series, which is, getting to understand what's going on in the world, not holding our punches in terms of those stories, really trying to care about the animal that we're talking about by showing how kind of similar animals are to humans and showing the dovetail between our two kind of worlds. And then really leading to, if you care about that animal and you want to help, what are tangible things that you can do both now or as you grow up to make a real difference?
Right. And as you mentioned, Dr. Jane Goodall is the central inspiration for this series. So how often do you work with Jane Goodall herself and her organization?
When we were in production, every day. And so they worked on all of the animals. They would help us find the experts that we feature at the end. And then Dr. Goodall herself, because we're featuring bits of her life story and mission, we would get her notes via JGI all the time. And then when we've had those rare occasions where we could actually sit with Dr. Goodall, we would get notes. In fact, one of her notes about the importance of her mom in her life and that she wouldn't have been able to do any of the things that she did without the support of her mom really inspired the finale episode of this season, our Lion episode, where we see Jane's mom see that her daughter needs her support. And so she kind of does, for the first time, takes a step into that imaginary world, which is an episode that I just, particularly love because it really was inspired by a note that we got from Dr. Goodall.
Wow, that's incredible. And Matt, we can redirect this question for you. So Jane combines live action and then also CGI, which I think is super cool and interesting. So in order to bring these environmental adventures to life, so how do you approach the blending of these elements to create such a seamless viewing experience for the audience?
Yeah, it was absolutely a challenge, but it was absolutely an inspiring challenge. It was a very conscious effort that we made from the beginning that we wanted the creatures to be done digitally. Obviously, we didn't want to film with any animals. We didn't film with any animals in the series. And we wanted to make sure that we could still bring JJ's vision to life. And I'm not going to lie, when you have a lion chasing a chimpanzee on the plains in Africa, that might be tough to direct if they were real anyway. But what was really inspiring was, we've been creating shows for the last 20 years. It was a complete blast to bring this to life and something that we're very thrilled that we can actively say that we didn't film any real animals. It was all plates and then brought to life in CG.
What's also interesting about this is I'm pretty sure that the behind the scenes for this show has to be an interesting experience considering there's animation, but there's also live action. So can you guys share any memorable or fun moments you had while filming and developing this series?
I mean, one of the great privileges of making these kind of shows is that we do get to work with kids. And when you work with kids, I mean, they're just looking to maximize their fun at all times. That always creates for a lighter set. And though we are playing in imagination, kids can tap into that so much more readily than adults. And so,
Right.
it's effortless. You're like, okay, well, and the lion's coming down here, or the panda's over here. And they're like, yeah, I'm looking over here. And they're reacting as if they see it, because you can see in their faces that they have the power to genuinely see it. So, I mean,
Right.
every day was really exciting. Whenever, to be able to shoot on location, whether that be Costa Rica or Kenya, just felt like a magical experience. And to show those kind of vistas, was heartwarming just for ourselves, but knowing that that was going to be kind of sent out to the world was also really nice. So I think that was probably it. Like filming with the kids, incredible action sequences, but also being able to shoot abroad was amazing.
That's so cool. I can't imagine. Obviously, JJ, you had mentioned, going abroad and you guys are, learning, I'm pretty sure, something new every single day on set. So that's really super cool. And so we have this character, Jane Garcia, played by Ava Murchison. She's a young environmentalist who embarks on adventures to save endangered animals. So what do you hope young viewers take away from her character's journey? Because I know I took a lot from hers.
Yeah, I mean, I really hope that kids see that she's someone that sees a problem and throws herself into figuring out how to solve it. And I also hope they see that, you've got to think about who you're trying to reach out to. I think, especially nowadays, we're all kind of speaking into our own kind of echo chambers. So how do you, if you really want to enact change, how do you reach outside that group and figure out how to convince people to kind of at least, even move just a little bit? So hopefully
Right.
that's something that you can see it in her character. She gets frustrated, she gets angry, but she figures out how to nuance that to enact real change.
There's so many great micro takeaways that I think people can put into their everyday life that will have macro impact later on. And there's so few times I can think of that, but they're very subtle and things that I think people will just start naturally doing without necessarily giving it too much thought. And to me, that's really exciting and inspiring to work on a show that will have that sort of legacy impact.
Obviously, we're talking about environmental issues, which, I'm, gonna take that word macro effect on the world. But, you know, when you have youth, like young environmentalists in like two words, it kind of, in a way, they clash a little bit. One's micro, one's macro. So, how important is it for children's television to address environmental issues, and how does Jane contribute to that conversation?
I mean, to me, I think sometimes in trying to protect younger audiences from feeling nervousness or anxiety, we just kind of shove it away and are like, don't worry about it. Grown-ups will take care of this. And I
Right.
think what we forget is that kids live huge emotional lives. They hear what's going on, they see what's going on. And so rather than pretend it's not happening just to keep them kind of in the dark about it, why not actually lean into it and show tangible things that you can do to make it a better place? Like,
Well, thank you guys so much for this interview. It was amazing. I love the show, and I'm really hoping that they come out with a third season. So, well, thank
awesome.
you
Thank you
guys
so
so
much.
much.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Matt.
Thank you, JJ Johnson and Matt Bishop, for the conversation. You can tune into Jane season 1 and 2 now on Apple TV Plus. I'm Ashley Clyde reporting for Kids First. Be sure to like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on another interview just like this one from me and my awesome teammates. Thanks for watching. Bye.